Hello everyone, welcome to another Eno Tutorial Civil Engineering Construction video. In this video, we are going to discuss concrete slump test. What is concrete slump test and why do we perform this test for concrete? What is the motive behind this test? So, watch to the end of this video in order to properly understand concrete slump test. When working with concrete, it is essential that you first of all test the consistency or what we will call the concrete slump of the mix before you lay the concrete. And this is done in order to make sure that the concrete is workable and able to set properly. And a concrete is said to be workable if it is easily transported, easily placed, and also easily compacted without any segregation. So it has to deal with how much water you add in the concrete. The most popular way we test if a concrete is workable is by performing a slump test. This is done by filling a metal cone, also known as an Abrams cone, with concrete mix before carefully removing the cone and measuring how much of the concrete stays in place. When performing a slump test, you will need 4 apparatus: a mold, base plates, tamping rod, and a tape measure. The concrete slump is determined by calculating the difference between the height of the mold and that of the highest point of specimen. Now, if the concrete mix is too wet, then the concrete will slump down on one side, and when this happens, you will need to remix the concrete. This is because concrete is weaker and more prone to cracking when the mix is too wet. So when this happens, you will need to remix the concrete again. If it is too dry, then there will be no slump at all, and when this happens, you may need to add more water to the mix. Now, let's take a look at the categories of concrete slump. There are 4 categories of concrete slump. We have collapse slump, shear slump, zero slump, and true slump. And in order for your concrete to be workable, you need to always aim for a true slump. So what is true slump? A true slump is where the top of the concrete mass slumps evenly all the way around, but the bulk of the mass stays in one place. And if any other result apart from a true slump is achieved from the slump test, you will have to remix the concrete again. A collapse slump is exactly how it sounds. If you perform the test and the concrete mass collapses completely, then this is what is known as a collapse slump. And when this happens, it means you have added too much water in the concrete mix. In a shear slump, only one side of the concrete mass will remain in one place. If one side has dropped, it is also known as a shear slump. If you obtain zero slump after the slump test, this is the result of the concrete mix being too dry. So you will need to add more water on the concrete mix in order to avoid zero slump. Different types of projects normally require different degree of concrete slump. For example, the concrete used in constructing road is often very dry and has a low degree of workability. So because of this low workability, it will require the use of power-operated machines. For this type of project, the slump will normally measure between 0 to 1 inches. While other projects such as driveways, paving, and the use of slab will require a greater degree of workability, and so the concrete slump will need to be slightly greater. Driveways, for instance, will require a maximum slump of 5 inches. Wetter mixes are commonly used for trench fill foundation, where a high flow is required, whereas drier mixes, which is approximately 50 to 70 slumps, are used mainly in simple strip footing and for hard standing slab. So this is the concrete slump test and why we perform the slump test on concrete. Make sure you don't forget, A true slump is generally required, but it will also depend on a given project application. Before you leave, I would appreciate if you can kindly hit the red subscribe button below this video to subscribe to my channel InnoTutorial to get more civil engineering construction videos like this. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. And with that being said, you all have a good and a wonderful day. God bless you all. Bye bye.